myself is Bhaskar. I'm doing Milky Way photography from last 1 year. I was trying to do Milky Way photography from last 5 years, but after doing lots of failed attempt, learning how to process and all, I think from last 1 year I'm able to get a significant Milky Way photos, and I improved a lot in terms of having the landscape, having the Milky Way, and now I can say like yeah, I'm able to do the Milky Way photography from last 1 year. Before that, I was just trying to get these Milky Way photos. After seeing my Milky Way photos from last 2 and 3 trips, many have asked me what was your setting, what gear you used, what camera you used, what lenses you used, and how you plan about those Milky Ways. So I almost answer to all individuals who come to me and ask this question, but at the same time I realize it's better I have made that videos about it and share with all you guys to help them. So to start with about camera, so I use Nikon G6 mirrorless camera, which is full which is full frame and can go to very high ISO without creating any significant ISO noise. So I mostly shoot Milky Way photography at ISO 1600 to get the less noise, but it can go to higher to that also. This camera has that capability. Once we talk about the lenses, so basically I use the Nikon 50mm 128 1.8 f-stop camera, which is of f mount, and I use f2G teleconverter to mount it into my Nikon G6, and this lens will help me to get a Milky Way core photos. So it is basically act as a zoom for a Milky Way, so it helped me to get a Milky Way core photos to getting the detail of the Milky Way core, not exactly the landscape with a Milky Way. Other lens I used is Rockinon 14mm G mount with f2.8. So this camera helped me get a broader version of the Milky Way with a landscape, with a beautiful landscape. So I have basically the landscape view with a nice sky and the Milky Way. It gave me more scenic beauty of the landscape and the Milky Way, not just having the core detail. So, and why I choose this lens is because this lens is really cheap compared to any other lenses which is developed by the Nikon or Sigma or any other things. One other reason having this lens is very cheap is the autofocus, like lack of autofocus. It is a manual lens, so you can't do the autofocus in this lens. You have to go manually. So anyway, if you're not shooting a moving object like you are doing the landscape photography or a Milky Way photography, you don't need autofocus. You have all your time to do the manually focus and take your photos. And if that means saving like 400 to 500 bucks, I will go for that. Yeah, there is a little bit disadvantage like vintage and all those impact and the sharpness. You will lose a little bit sharpness, but I would say the performance of this lens at this price is really something I will go for it. So it's worth it in one sentence. So I use that lens. So, and one of the question I got many times, what was my setting? So there is no direct answer for that, because I didn't use a single frame. I used that single frame into my past, like 1 year before, but right now from the last 2 or 3 months, I'm not using the single frame. I'm creating multiple frame and stacking them together. So once I go to multi-frame stack, so the single frame setting doesn't come into the picture at the end, but yeah, while shooting it does make a difference. So like in this in the last Milky Way photos, I shooted with a Rockinon with the exposure 20 second, with having the exposure of a 20 second and getting the f-stop 2.8. And what I did, I created a Milky Way frame, 10 to 12 Milky Way frame, all continuous. Then I created a dark frame at that time, and I work all those photos together to generate one frame. So how I did that, I will cover into the later in this video using the Photoshop. But yeah, that's how I planned it. And so if you know about dark frame, that's all well good. If you don't know about dark frame, then you can know about it very fast. Dark frame is nothing, just a normal frame, but your lens hood is covered on your lens while taking the photos. So what exactly this means? So basically, and why it is important. So basically, once you do the Milky Way photos, after some times your camera sensor get heated, so they generated the noise, and that noise is same in all the frame, because your camera sensor generating the noise to your camera sensor is almost same. So what we need a way around where we can remove that noise from our Milky Way photos. So to remove that noise, at first we need to have that noise without anything else. So here that dark frame come into the picture. So once you do your any photography, like say Milky Way photography for an hour, so due to sensor rate, it generates the noise. So now you want to just capture the noise. So what you do at that time, at the field, when you did the Milky Way photography, you just need to put your camera hood on your lens hood on your lens, and cover your lens, and take 10 to 10 photos at that time with the same setting and everything else. So that way your lens will not capture anything, because your lens hood is on, and it will just capture the noise. And I will explain later in this video how that noise can be used to subtract the noises from your Milky Way photos. So like, if you like this video, then please click on the like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to upload a more Milky Way photos, how to remove the more noise in other techniques, and how to remove the star to make Milky Way more prominent into other videos. So if you want to watch that video, like this video, subscribe to it, and if you have any comment, any suggestion, please post on the comment. So now let's go to the Photoshop part and how I work on my PC to generate the Milky Way. So let's get started there. So let's start with Lightroom and the Photoshop workflow. So I open my all Milky Way frame and the dark frame into Lightroom. Once you after that you start working on the one frame with a setting like exposure, highlight, shadow, black setting, and all other, which is to get your Milky Way promptly visible. And once you satisfied with all the setting for a Milky Way and it is promptly visible, apply that same setting to all of your frame which you have taken. And to do that, you can sync your setting to the required frame, to all the frame. So here I am doing all the required settings. So I will cover what setting. If you want all the setting how to do that, just let me know. I will cover into another video, but here we are not covering that. So I selected all the frame for which the setting is required, and I click on the sync, and I sync all the frame together. So now my Milky Way is a little bit visible or prompt in all the frame. So why I'm not showing the setting here, because right now I'm showing how to stack multiple frame to create a one frame. So now click on Photoshop, edit in, and click photos in Photoshop layer. So it will take some time to get it load, depending upon number of frame and your computer speed. It can be from 10 minutes or to 1 hour. So I just skip that part, loading part, and now here all the frame and the dark frame is open into the Photoshop layer. So what we need to do, we need to place all the dark frame just above the Milky Way frame. So like I am selecting the dark frame, dragging it above the Milky Way. So dark frame, Milky Way frame, dark frame, Milky Way frame. And if you don't have same number of dark frame as a Milky Way frame, you can just copy any dark frame and paste it above the Milky Way frame. Simple Control C, Control V on a Windows. Now what you need to do, you need to go to any dark frame and select the subtract. So what it do, it subtract the noise from the dark frame to the Milky Way frame. Now you need to merge the both layer. So select the dark frame and Milky Way frame, right click and click on the merge frame. So do one by one to all, like here I did. Once you did that, click on the mask button and mask the foreground, like your back landscape from your Milky Way, because you want to align all the Milky Way star together in all frame at one place. So since you are taking multiple frames, so the star is moving, so their place is little bit differ in all frame, so you want to align them together. That way you will get a lots of light for one star. So to align them together, you need to hide the landscape or the foreground from the sky. So now I just selected that mask and use the backspace to get it in red color visible. Now just Control Alt and drag your mask to all Milky Way frame. So in every frame, this is hidden. Your landscape is hidden. Go to Edit and Auto Align. Select Auto Align. So again, on your computer speed will take time. So just skip the Auto Align part, and you can see now all the star is aligned into one, and the frame has shifted a little bit according to my star movement at the night. Now go to one by one to all frame and delete the mask. You have landscape and all the star aligned together into one into the frame. So don't worry about the tilted. We will crop it and rotate it to have it a final version. So now in every frame the star is linked. So select all the frame and convert it to a smart object. Once it's converted to a star mouse bed, select go to that layer, select the smart object and go to a stack mode and select the median. So it will select the median of all the light it is there after uh, converting and after aligning and converting a stopped object. So in that way, if any plane come or any extra noise comes, since it is in one frame not in another frame, so that will get removed. So now you can see you have the sky aligned and stacked. Name it to a sky. So that now we have work on the sky. Now we want to work on a landscape. So basically what happened in a landscape and the why we work on this separately. So if you go into the higher exposure for a landscape, so our sky become too much bright because it has a star and all. And if you want sky color properly, our landscape become too much dark. So what we are able to see from the eye at the landscape, where our eye is adjusted in a landscape and a sky both together, and we can see that. But it is not possible into the camera, so we work separately. So now I want my landscape color properly, so I am doing my all setting for a landscape. So don't go and blow landscape too much where it doesn't look like a natural. So adjust work a white and the black balance, which could be the natural if you are into that side, so you can see this landscape even in the night due to the impact and our human eyes, because human eye get adjusted to the night vision and we can see the river and all those tree. It's not to their greenery, but we can see okay what is there and what the landscape is. So just adjust to the same way what was there at the night. So this way, and don't bother too much about the sky, because we are not going to taking the sky from this frame. We are just taking the landscape from this frame. So work about it little bit. So once you are satisfied, so here also you can click a multiple frame and apply the same setting all, but I just click the one frame on the field, so I'm working on one frame, but you can have multiple frame like we did for a Milky Way photo shoot, 7 to 8 frame. That will be actually help with converting the smart object and selecting the median to remove any further remove any unwanted noise. but since I have only one, so I am just setting one frame and the corresponding dark frame. So dark frame is actually clicked at the site with the hood on, and with the same duration the landscape frame is getting clicked. Like for me, I did for 2 minutes of exposure, so I created my dark frame with a 2 minutes of exposure with same ISO and same f point. So now you work like you are satisfied with your landscape. So I open my landscape and the dark frame into my Photoshop, same by using same like editing and open as a layer in a Photoshop. So once your frame is open into the Photoshop, go select the both frame and uh, do the Control C, like copy it and paste it into your previous workspace, like your Milky Way workspace. So you want your foreground and the Milky Way into the same workspace. Created the other one, so in this workspace we have my foreground and my Milky Way. We group both together as a foreground. Now the same thing, go and do the subtract. Once you do the subtract from the dark frame with your Milky Way frame, or here the foreground frame, it's delete all the noise which is created during the shooting, and it just have the frame, the landscape frame. The same, once you subtracted it, you select and merge into the layers. Now in the sky you have the sky with a landscape is too much dark, we are hardly able to see anything in the sky, and in the foreground we have landscape. So what we want to do, we want to hide the landscape from the sky frame. So create the mask, do the Control I, so it will hide everything, and now select the brush and unhide the sky part from the sky frame. So what we are getting is the sky part from the sky frame. Probably you are listening to some music in the background, so my roommate has decided to listen some music, so yeah, we are getting that also. If you're listening to some music, don't worry about it and enjoy that music too. So now you can see you have a sky from the foreground. I copy that same marks, sky from the sky group, so copy the same mask into the foreground and revert it using Control I. So now we have a sky from the sky group and the landscape from the landscape group. We have some extra unwanted pixels, so using the crop we are cropping that unwanted area, and once our crop is done, so this could be our final Milky Way photos. So you can see, like, this is how I worked in my last Milky Way photography without tracker. So if you have a tracker, you track that Milky Way for a longer period of to get uh, lots of light source for a Milky Way. But if you don't have a tracker and you can't invent right now, so that's how you can do it. It's not as good as tracker, but still you will get a good photos. So get a multiple frame, work on individual on each frame, align them, strike them, and then blend sky and the foreground color to achieve the result. So if you like this video and if you want to see more video in future, please like this video and subscribe to it. Next video I am going to cover how to reduce the star from Milky Way to get better smooth Milky Way photos. Okay, bye bye for today's video. Thank you.